Hello and welcome to episode 18 of Knitsn'GigglesPodcast. I'm Brandy.
And I am Debbie.
We're from Alberta, Canada, in case you haven't tuned in before. It is May right now, end of May, and it's beautiful outside. We were going to record this outside on my back deck, but it's a little noisy right now, and there is an Oilers game happening, probably started. And my neighbors were outside like 20 minutes ago yelling, "Go, Oilers, go!" So I thought that probably wasn't conducive to good podcast recording. So we're inside.
To talk about knitting.
To talk about knitting, yeah. That's what we do. And stuff.
And it's the 25th of May. My notes said 24, and I was like, that's not right.
I'm glad you know what date it is. I remembered what podcast we're talking about, and you remember what date. So look at us. Together, we're a great team.
Our brains work together.
Normally we talk about what we're wearing. I'm not wearing any knits. I can make up an elaborate story, but really I just felt lazy when I got dressed this morning, and this is what I put on, and I didn't want to change again. So here we are. I'm not wearing any knits. It's also like a weird temperature outside because of the wind. And
it's very warm in the sun, though.
It is very warm.
Because I sat outside in the sun this morning reading and having coffee.
Yeah.
And it was warm, except the wind. Have you noticed the crazy amount of spider webs?
No, but the poplar fuzz is insane. Like, I'm eating it outside.
All over the yard.
The spider webs or the fuzz?
Both.
Yes.
So the fuzz, they look like tampons. The white. So I look out the window, and it's like our yard is covered in tampons because they're like these white.
I know what you're talking about, like the big ones, yeah.
Everywhere. And then yesterday we wanted to sit on our deck and barbecue, so Chris brought out the shop vac and vacuumed our deck and all the patio furniture.
Vacuumed the tampons out?
Yes. And then filled the shop vac. He had to empty it because it was so full of these things. And yeah. And then this morning he gets up and he's like, it's like I did nothing because it's covered again in all of them. And the spider webs, it's like, because it must be all the spiders hatching or something, but there's just like spider webs through the air from the trees to the house, and up in the sky you can't see the web, but there's like poplar things dangling in the air stuck to these spider webs.
Okay, my yard is not like that. I don't have spider webs like that.
Spider webs everywhere, and like our whole fence, like all the little squares are spider webs. Oh. And then cutting the grass, I had to put my arm like this. So I was driving and put my arm up.
Why?
Because the spider webs were getting in my mouth. So I had to cut the grass.
This sounds like a horror movie.
It's awful. It was like a horror movie. So I had to cut the grass with my arm in the air. And I'm sure if anyone saw me, they'd be like, what is this weird lady doing?
No, they would never judge you. They would just be like, oh, look, a lady with her arm up in the air.
Driving a tractor. Like I'm signaling, like I'm turning.
Everett mowed our lawn yesterday. I'm going to ask him when he gets home if he had to mow his arm up. Were you just like out there with the spider webs? This is a phenomenon that we don't have. I don't think we have spider webs.
I have a lot. I am wearing a knit.
Yes, you are. Yeah.
This morning, again in my notes, I wrote love note. It's not a love note. It's ranunculus, so I haven't changed that. So this is the ranunculus. And it's knit in Crux Fibres Linen Silk. And the pattern is by, I have a note, Midori, Hirose. It's very popular. And it's knit on very large needles. I think a US 10, US 9, US 10. And you can knit it in like any weight. So it can be very like gauzy and loose, or super tight fabric with something thicker. Long sleeve, short sleeve. Yeah.
Lots of people have made the ranunculus.
I would make it again. It's very fast.
Yeah. The ranunculus and the love note, I think, are like very popular patterns.
Yes. And I made both, but I like ranunculus better, I think.
Cool. Yeah.
Or maybe it's because I was more experienced when I made it. So it just seemed like it didn't take me as long, and it turned out I feel better.
I remember you making that.
Yeah. It was fast.
Did you make it right before the...
I wore it to Knit City.
Yeah, you wore it to Knit City.
So,
were you just finishing it?
Yeah.
Because that's right, because you were making... Was it the hipster and it was way too big?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
so
you
I had to rip it out.
Yeah, and you tried a couple different things, and then you were like, I'm making the ranunculus.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I did.
So you did, and you wore it to the... That's right.
I feel like the round yoke tops fit me best.
Okay.
So, like, I seem to like the round yoke ones that I make more than other styles.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
That's a good thing to know.
Yeah. Because even with, like, the Hipster, it's very square.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's just that style.
It is.
I can't seem to get the size right.
Yeah.
It fits different. But the round yoke seems to fit me better.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of the Hipster, I cast on, moving on to whips, I cast on my second Hipster. I made one already.
The one with the black.
The one with the black, yeah. So I kind of showed this off. I'm not very far. Debbie, I had to rip it out. And okay, so I made this almost exactly a year ago. Just like I think I started it in June, and of a year ago. And when I made it last year, I had an issue because I'd never made the Hipster stitch before.
Yes.
And I watched Locatelli's YouTube video on how to make it. And then I did it last year, and I there was an issue, and it's my brain. There's no issue with the pattern. There's no issue with the instructions. My brain did not compute it properly last year. And I remembered that. So I was like, you're going to go and watch the video, and you're going to do it right this time. I fucked it up.
Oh my God.
And I did exactly the same thing I did last time. Like, it was so frustrating.
What did you do though?
Okay, well, first, before I did that, I had to redo it because, have you ever done a provisional cast on onto a knitting barber cord?
I have, and it didn't seem to go well for me. It's like It tried to twist on itself. So I think
that's fair.
I think I would have to put it on there after.
Okay.
Like do the provisional and then put the cord.
Okay, so the provisional cast on for me on the knitting barber is amazing. I have no issues with it. But yesterday when I did the provisional cast on first, so this is kind of confusing because I actually have two knitting barbers here. So this is not my provisional cast on. This is stitches on hold because you create, you put on your amount of stitches and then you work from the front shoulder, one shoulder, and then you do the back, all the stitches, and then you do the next shoulder. So your provisional cast on is what you put the back on. So this is my left shoulder on hold. When I did the provisional cast on, I did not pull my knitting barber through enough. And as I was knitting back across, because you have to knit all the way back across before you start your shoulder, it slipped off about 30 stitches. And I just couldn't put it back on. Like, it was just not happening. So I had to rip it all out and then do it again. And the next time I pulled the cord through, clamped it with one of these things that Debbie gave me. And then it was fine. But so I'd already taken it all apart, and then I did my Hipster stitch. So you guys are gonna laugh at me. Like, I'm such an idiot. Like, when I did it, I'm like, are you kidding me? So my size has 35 stitches, okay? When I finished the Hipster stitch, I had 41 stitches, 6 extra stitches. Here's how. The Hipster stitch,
Oh, I know how you do it. I know exactly what you're going to say. Continue.
So you knit one, and then you yarn over. There's 2 rows. You yarn over. I feel like I'm not giving anything away because you can literally look at her video, right? Like, yeah. Okay, so I'm really conscious of that. I don't want to give away something that's a paid pattern, but I feel like the Hipster stitch, whatever it's actually called, you can go and look at Hohi's video and figure out how to do it, and it's also probably in stitch things. So I feel like I'm not giving away any intellectual property here. But you knit one and then you yarn over 3. That's your setup row, and you do that all the way across. And then in your second row, you slip 1 stitch, let the yarn overs drop. Well, you do that 6 times. On my 6th knit stitch that you slip over, I don't let the yarn overs drop. And what ends up happening is I end up slipping one of those yarn overs over, and I end up with 1 extra stitch around, which is 6 extra stitches for my size. So I did this last year, and I had to rip it all out because the hipster stitch is not something that you can just go back one run row. You have to rip it all out. This time, I just decreased stitches by knitting 2 together across the last row. So
does it look fine?
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
It's my shoulder.
Yeah.
Like, you can see here, it bulges. Like, it's not straight. It should be a straight line. It bulges there. I don't think it's going to be a big deal.
You block it.
I'm going to block it. There's definitely 6 extra stitches in there. Like I said, it's on my shoulder. It's not like it's across my boob or something. Not that, I don't know why that would matter. I guess visually,
very
right? Prominently, yes. Yeah. So I did that. So hopefully on the next one, I'll know how to do it. And you know what? It's so funny because I was like, oh, like, why doesn't she explain this better? Like, she could do a better job at explaining it. And then I'm like, she does. She says, knit 1 and drop the 3 stitches, Brandy. It's your own downfall for not listening on the last stitch.
Look how nice that looks together.
I really like it. I think it's going to be so different than my other hipster too. Right?
Yes.
Like it's such
different from anything. Do you ever knit with anything that has like pops of color like this?
Not really. And I haven't really knit with black. I love black. I'd love to knit everything with black, but black is hard to knit with. So
look at that.
Yeah.
It's going to be so nice.
Yeah. I'm already picturing it with denim shorts.
Yep.
Or a denim jacket. Like it's going to be so cute with denim. Yeah, I'm really excited, and it's going good. I mean, obviously, like, the other thing with this particular construction is, and I remember this from last year, with the cords and whatever, it's just a little bit finicky in the beginning until you get a little bit farther away from the cords and your yarn isn't wrapping around it.
Yes, well, because you have some on hold, and then you have like the whole provisional cast on hold.
Yeah. Once it gets off hold, once you do the back, it's a lot easier. Although you still have to put it back on hold again before you join in the round or whatever. I don't really remember. But speaking of poplar fuzz, I think I have a poplar fuzz in my eye. I was gonna say something else. Oh yeah, and remember when we were at the retreat or knit away, and you were like, Brandy, don't you just do the wrap thing to know how much yarn to hold when you're doing a cast on? Yeah. So I was like, I'm going to do the wrap thing. So I did the wrap thing, and I had like 3 feet, way too much yarn. I'm like, what the heck?
How does this happen?
I don't know. But then when I had to rip it all out, I'm like, I'm not doing the wrap thing. Got to 35 stitches. I needed to do a lot more than 35 stitches. And I was like, I'm like, this is not going to be enough. So I have still a ridiculous amount of yarn left.
Usually the wrap thing works.
I don't know what I did wrong.
So I don't know.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Sometimes I do the wrap thing, so I wrap 10 and then I just measure, right?
Yes.
But sometimes I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to need a tail. So I overcompensate. I overestimate how much I'll need extra for a tail. Then I do end up having a really long tail. Yeah. Because I'm like, what if I don't have enough?
The biggest issue with this for me is it's such a waste of yarn. Like I'm going to cut this and I'm going to weave in, and then there's going to be whatever this is, like 2 feet of yarn, 3 feet of yarn that didn't need to be wasted. So that's frustrating to me. But other than that, whatever.
Sometimes with really long tails, depending on the construction, you can use that to like connect the things or like sew it in or connect stuff, but this you can't.
No, it's
not like that.
No. Do you have any whips?
Well, the same ones I've had before. So my whip is my purse.
Oh, me too.
The Cozy Circle Crossbody.
Well, let's show them together.
Well, because I just found it this morning and I forgot about it, all I still have is this one circle that looks like a beret.
I blocked mine yesterday.
How was the blocking of the circles?
Good. My one circle was definitively bigger than the other.
Weird.
So weird. And this was on the bottom. It's not quite dry, so it's a little bit wonky, but I think it's going to be fine once I sew the purse. Once I sew the purse, it'll be fine. Like, it's a little bit. But yeah, so
they're
I
blocked to be the same size now because you have to block them on top of each other.
Yes, they are blocked to be the same size, but you can tell that this one's stretched out more than this one was. Like, you can even see the stitches.
Right.
I don't think it's going to be a big deal. It's also the boucle. It hides the imperfections.
Yeah, it like fills it in. Oh, and it goes this way.
Yeah.
You construct it. The wrong side is on the outside.
No, this is the outside. Wait, hold on. Oh, yeah, you're right. The wrong side is on the outside. I don't know if I like that.
No?
Yeah, probably. No, you're right.
Like
that is how she said she liked it better. Yeah. No,
you
you're
could
right.
do it the other way.
Yeah.
Because there are you
could do whatever you want.
In the pattern.
Yeah.
Some people do show the right side on the outside.
Yeah.
But it hides it more.
So I need to do the lining now because the pattern says to do the lining before you do the knit the edge so you have the right size. Yeah, it definitely blocked quite big. What color would you put for a lining? I have to buy fabric.
Well, you're not going to see it, so
it doesn't mean I don't want it to look nice. I will see it.
I don't know.
Every time I open my purse, I'm going to see it.
I might find a fun pattern or something.
I'm not going to look at my... Where's my keys? Like, I'm going to be looking inside my purse.
Okay. So, a lighter color, you'll be able to see things easier on the inside.
Yeah.
Like, just a plain, neutral, natural color.
I was kind of thinking navy, but now that you pointed out being able to see things nice would be nice. Or maybe I kind of like in this one there's kind of caramel pops.
Well, I have that too. And I was going to say like a brown maybe.
Yeah, like a caramel brown on the inside. I also think I'm going to try and sew at least one side pocket, maybe two. I probably won't put a zipper or anything like that in it because I'm not that... Like, sewing is not my forte.
But you need a zipper on the outside.
Yeah, but like sewing a pocket on the inside with a zipper, like that sounds really hard.
That sounds like too much work. This whole thing might seem like too much work.
You are not quitting. I'm not letting you quit.
I'm not going to quit.
What are you going to do with that?
I want to use it. Like, it's cute. It would be a cute little crossbody bag. And I like shopping for hardware.
Yes.
And all the straps are really nice.
Yes. Well, and that's the other thing. I want a brown strap. So maybe if I found a fabric that was like similar. Mm-hmm. Now I need to go fabric shopping.
Where is there a fabric store?
There's Fabric on is it 99th, 91st, 99th?
I wonder how much you would need. We could just like upcycle fabric.
I thought about that, but I don't have anything that I think is strong enough for the inside.
But even if you went to like Blenders or something.
Oh, we should go to Blenders.
They're
We should
moving.
go to Blenders. What? Oh, yeah, seen that.
Near Gold Bar.
What about Reimagined Fabrics?
Oh, yes. That would be a good one.
What
Because she
about-
just opened a storefront, right?
Yeah, she would probably have that. I was thinking about, because I have some clothes that either have stains or whatever on them, but I'm keeping them for like patches and stuff like that. I don't patch my clothes. Just don't worry about it. But I was thinking, if I wanted a denim inside, I could do denim, but I don't really want a denim inside.
Well, it would make
denim would look cute on yours, a light denim or even a dark denim.
It would very much give it structure.
Structure, yeah.
Which I think in the pattern, don't they say something about having a lining to give it structure? Or cardboard?
You said
Somebody used cardboard.
Ravelry did that, yeah.
Yes.
I don't think I'd want that.
Just in between the two layers
Yeah.
to give it some structure. But then I'd worry about it getting wet if it was cardboard.
Yeah. You'd have to get the cardboard that's like covered in plastic. Be kind of okay.
Well, that's as far as I've got. Well, technically, here, I have another one on.
Oh, did you do that at the retreat?
I did.
Oh.
I had started it apparently. So really, it's like another hour of work, and I'll have the
Get it
other.
done.
I'll have the other side done. But I had forgotten about it till Friday. So
I'd like to use this summer, so maybe I'll get it done this.
I know. It would be great.
It would be great. That's your only. Wait.
No, and then my district cowl, which hasn't really grown, and I messed it up. So I guess I can show the people.
Show the people.
Okay, people. So this is the district cowl, or what will be the district cowl by Maxim Cyr. And the yarn I used is Cindy Marie Creates and Yarn Divas mohair. So in this pattern, you can see the design and how it's like making this like Y shape thing of stockinette stitches on the garter, right? On the pattern itself, and I'll try not to like show too much. It's supposed to be like that and have multiple lines. Well, I missed that part. So I knit too far past the point of making that first V. So I'm having to just do it on my own because I didn't want to rip back all the way to here. So it will now only have the one that will go all the way up, and then I'll skip the next one too, otherwise it'll look weird. So it'll just have one of those ridges. And then the construction of this is interesting because you actually fold it in half and stitch all the way up this side. So I have very far to go. I feel like it tells me how many inches this thing will end up being. It says I have to leave a 50-inch tail, which is so long to sew up that whole side.
That's over 4 feet.
Yeah.
It's a long tail.
It's a very long construction. And usually tails to join something, you go 2.5 times the length. So it would be at least 25 inches, you would think, long. I don't know. I feel like I have a really long way to go still. Ooh. Where's my measuring tape? Because if I measure this... that's like 20...
Yeah, you're already 20...
At 24 stitches, 25 stitches. Or inches, rather. I don't know. I feel like I have a far way to go. But I'm basically, because I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants and doing my own thing, I'm just doing the increases to make it wider until I hit the right amount of stitches that I need at the end, and it'll be what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Because then I'll just block it to be the right, and because this keeps rolling on the edge.
Yeah.
And so I feel like once I've blocked it and then I actually join in the construction part, it will be fine.
It'll be fine.
It will be fine. And then
famous last words of a knitter.
It's not like I'm wearing it anytime soon because we're getting into summer.
That's right.
So I'm not going to be wearing a mohair cowl until the fall, at least. Months and months from now.
Months and months. I have one other way I almost forgot about, which I don't think I've made a ton of progress on since the last time I showed, but it's my Inclinations Cowl. And
oh yes,
yeah. So I am on the last, because there's 3 sections of the pattern. I am on the 3rd section, and I've been on the 3rd section for quite some time. But there's 24 repeats, and it's a 4-row. So whatever that would be, 24 times 4 is 100. It's like 100 rounds or 100 rows, so it's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think I'm like 8 or 9, and it's going really slow.
But you started to decrease, right?
Yeah, I am starting to decrease. Yeah.
Okay, so you should go faster near the end.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I started a new job, and I haven't knit very much. I did knit on this during my lunch break one day, so
I've barely knitted all in the last 3 weeks. Also, because life is crazy, and I was sick the whole week after our knit away. As you can probably tell on our last podcast,
we both sounded awful.
We were sick.
I was sick the week before and just getting my voice back, and Debbie was sick.
I was just getting sick.
And
I went home. I was so congested. I had to buy the drugs and the blister care stuff that weekend. Yeah.
So I was making this for myself. I don't know. If you've been around, the whole thing was this yarn. I have 2 balls of it, and it's 200 grams each ball. Mm-hmm. And so I only need 1 for this cowl. So my plan was just to make it for myself. But then I have a friend whose birthday is coming up, and I was trying to think of what to do for her birthday. We always exchange gifts. Sometimes we don't. We do it late or whatever. Because we're really intentional with what we give. So it's more important to give something that's intentional versus just getting a gift.
Right.
So I was thinking about that, and I was knitting on this, and she would really love this, I think. So I'm going to give her this one. Now, my decision is already made, but I'm going to ask you guys anyway. There are some design elements in this cowl.
Okay.
Meaning mistakes. Would you give something with mistakes in it to someone?
Yeah, they wouldn't notice.
Yeah. We were at Knit Night.
What?
This is like, so I messed up the knit through the bottom loop and tried to fix it. You can kind of see it looks like a scar. There's 2 of those. I don't know where the other one is.
Is this the right side?
Yeah.
Oh.
This is the right side. It is definitely more prominent on the wrong side. Boom. Yeah, the right side.
I like this side better.
I know. Oops, I know. I like this side too. I guess you could do whatever you want. I don't know once I seam it. But yeah, this is supposed to be the right side.
Well, I wonder once you join it together,
that's the other thing,
where that will fall.
Yeah. And then there's
might not be, and once it's around your neck, just like that one that I made that I was like, ugh, I don't like this. And you're like, it's around your neck, you can't even tell.
You can't even tell. Yeah.
So
I'm not too worried about it. I just thought it was an interesting thing to talk about.
No, I would just gift it.
I'm not perfectionist enough to care. And yeah, the only thing is that when I was knitting on this at Knit Night a couple weeks ago, someone was like, oh, did you drop some stitches? And I was like, damn it, how did you see that from way over there? So it seemed a little bit more prominent. This is knit in half fisherman's rib. It's my first time doing it. And it's definitely a learning curve for me because when you make a mistake, it's impossible for me. Maybe it's not impossible for someone else who's got more skill at knitting, but it's impossible for me to fix it. Like I just have had a really hard time going back because I don't know how to put my stitch back on my needle after I've knit through the bottom loop. So that's why I have a few design elements. But this is merino cotton. I'm not usually a huge fan of how cotton feels. This is really like squishy and soft.
Yeah, because of the stitch that's used.
Yeah, I'm really loving it. So all of that to say, I'm going to give this one away. My friend's birthday is in a month. I'm going to give this one away, and then I've got the other ball, so I think I'm going to try and make another one. And I think I'm going to pull the middle out, just like I did with this one, but I did it after. I'm going to pull it out in the beginning and work on 2 separate balls. And I'm going to try and remember to take pictures of this before I give it away, because I'm definitely not going to knit this again right away. But take pictures and then the 2, like see the 2 side by side. Would be kind of cool. Yeah. Like
is that the friend who gave you this yarn?
Yes,
that is even funny.
It is. Yeah, I know. It's gonna be great. She probably won't even remember that she gave me the yarn. Although she might. Who knows? But yeah, it is that friend. So that'd be fun. That's
your only whips.
Those are my only whips. Yes,
I have no FOs.
I do. I have an FO. Is it considered an FO if the ends aren't looped in?
Yes.
Perfect. See, the long tails cause me problems. Well, then I have an FO. My stripy sweater is done.
So exciting.
And my sleeves are wonky, and I'm not fixing them.
Why are they wonky?
This one has 4 too many stitches. Somewhere I must have picked up stitches. You can see how it like kind of flares a little bit.
Again, blocking.
I know. I think it's gonna block out. There was supposed to be more decreases, but because my sleeves are a lot shorter than the pattern calls for, because my arms apparently are not massively long. Like there's supposed to be another 40 repeats. It would literally be down to here on me. It's ridiculous. So I didn't decrease enough, so they're a little bit wider than they're supposed to be. But I tried it on and it's fine. It's very oversized on me.
It's so cute.
Yeah, and next year when it's cold, I'll get to wear it because it is.
Okay, but put it on.
It's gonna have to go over my sweater because I'm not wearing a tank top.
Okay.
Which is gonna look so flashy with this brown.
I was gonna say these colors are gonna look great together.
Like, what am I? Christmas? I feel like an old man. My layers on. Yeah, so it is huge. Like the sweater I'm wearing underneath is super bulky, and
how could they have asked for the sleeves to be longer? It is so. They would have been so long.
There should have been 40 more rounds on my sleeves.
Wow.
On this part of the sleeve, plus another 2 inches on this. So whatever. Like they would have been to my toes.
And you still have to block it.
And I still have to block it. Yeah. So when I finished my first sleeve, I stood like this awkwardly in the kitchen and made Jeff measure and if I would have added more, it would have been past my hands, and I haven't even blocked it yet. So yeah, I don't know.
I really like it.
It's gonna be, I think, super cozy with like leggings.
Mm-hmm. I really like the V-neck.
I like the V-neck.
The depth of it.
Yeah. It's gonna be cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But because it is scrappy and stripy, I don't know if you can see very well, but there is oodles.
A ton of ends.
So many ends.
What is that method that people do?
Weave and Steven?
Yeah, what is that? To do it as you go.
You know what? One of our knit friends, Vivian, has talked about it a couple times, and she even like showed people how to do it. But I Googled it and I didn't really understand, so I would have to like take more time to really figure that out.
I'm gonna have to look this up one day.
Yeah. So I think one of our podcasts we talked about this. I forget when, but I started writing down. It's called. I'm calling this notebook my 2025 knitting framework. And I must have started it in January because it says January. But I've written down everything that I've casted on. And I'm really loving this because, like, it says my Surrey shirt finished on January 13th, which I, like, started that way a long time ago. I've got, like, things that are, like, the... I have to read faster. Hold on. And then I, like, in February, I started, like, a list. I'm going to read that. See that. But I started a list and I numbered them. And I just added everything that I had, like, cast on. And I wrote that I frogged that one. But, so I wrote down, like, that I casted that off. And I think it's going to be nice to be able to see how long these things actually took me.
Well, our friend Jeanette has her book. And then she puts pictures in it. And then I was like, well, I have that thing. My daughter actually has one of those. Well, she has one of those cameras, but she also has a little printer that you can print from your phone, and it prints the tiny pictures. So the film that's in it right now is just like tiny Polaroid film, but you can get the sticker ones that then you can stick into your book.
I don't know if you really want to do that, though, Debbie. Does it want to be really sad when you have no pictures in it?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
It's true, though. I finished nothing. Apparently, I'm a process knitter. I like the process, and then I just don't ever get the finished project.
I'd like to know how those slippers are going that you...
Again, forgot about them. I have no accountability.
Slippers. That was a while ago.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just so tired lately.
Fair.
So I just don't feel inspired to like do this stuff. But then I like look at all the patterns, which I'll talk about some patterns after. And I'm like, I want to make all these. I don't know when.
As your knit best friend, I have to point out that you may be tired now. But what about last year? Were you really tired last year?
No, last year I just had lots of projects that I ripped out because I screwed up all of them.
I'm just kidding. The other thing with like having the knit pattern thing for me anyway is like last year I was really excited about a couple patterns and I purchased yarn with the intent to make one of them, and now I'm not so sure how I feel about that pattern and that yarn and all the things. So like there's also that like that fluidity of patterns because there's always new ones coming out and committing to something and then making it and still feeling that like exuberant, you know, feelings to want to finish it or to make it.
I think if I don't cast it on, and I'm learning this as we go, if I don't cast it on right away, it's just probably not going to happen, and that yarn will turn into something else.
Yeah.
Because the new patterns come out. And then after you made the framed, which looks amazing, I'm not so excited to make it. Because it looked really tedious.
It is tedious. If I hadn't done it right away.
And I have the yarn for it. So that yarn might have to be something else.
One of the patterns I want to share today, I'm really excited about. I love how it looks. I don't think I'll make it because it is color work. And just because of my experience with how tedious the framed was for me. And I needed to have so much buying power, and just where my life is right now in this minute, I know that I don't think I'll even buy the yarn for it because I just don't think it'll be a project that I'll have the ability to set my mind to.
Yeah.
But okay, so at knit night the other night, somebody said, is Mary Maxim still in publish or whatever, still in circulation? And talking about like new patterns all the time. That's something too that we have working against us, if you will, that we're constantly inundated with all these new patterns that are coming from all these designers, because it's easier to be a designer. Maybe not easier isn't the right word, but like designs and stuff are more accessible with the help of social media and websites like Ravelry. Whereas like, so my husband's grandmother, who is 80 something years old, when I first started knitting, crocheting and whatever, especially knitting, she was like, oh, do you get Mary Maxim? And I'm like, no. And she's like, where do you get your patterns from then? And I'm like, the internet. And like, it's so mind-blowing to her that we have such access to whatever we want. And she has called me up and been like, hey, I really want to knit this or that. Is there any way you can get me a pattern? And I'm like, I can get you 100 free patterns for that. Like, cause like one of them was literally a baby toque.
Oh.
And I'm like, you're going to have to give me more information of what kind of knit baby toque you want, because I bet you there's a lot for free even on Ravelry.
Mm-hmm.
And I printed some off for her, and she was just like, how much do I owe you? They're free. But she's given me a Mary Maxim book, and she has knit patterns out of the book, but what a different time too. And then that's the other thing too, you get a magazine and you get 6 things that you choose from to knit.
Yeah. Now it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, we can talk about patterns, I guess.
Do it.
Okay. So my first one, I purchased already because I really liked it. It's the Summerland Cardigan by Megan Nodecker, who is Pip and Pin. Her and her sister are Pip and Pin. And it's a DK weight, and she uses an organic wool linen blend in hers. I'll just bring it up. But it's looks like a very intuitive lace design. Get bigger, please.
It's not that it looks like the cat bells, it just reminds me of the cat bells, like with the lace in it.
Yes. But that's what is intriguing to me. I like that. And I like that it's DK weight and it looks cozy and I could see myself wearing it. So I bought that pattern.
So every time that you reach and I see your wrist tattoo, I know what it says, but I always read olive tree.
Yes. People say this all the time. Does that say olive tree? And I'm like, nope.
Like every single time, I'm like, it's live free, but
it looks like could be olive tree. It's not.
I really like that pattern. Are you gonna make it?
That's the plan.
Yeah. What color?
I don't know.
I think
I have a lot of yarn, so I probably already have a sweater quantity of something to make this. But I guess it depends. Like, I'm intrigued that she used a wool linen.
A wool linen.
Yeah, that's what she used. So it would be very drapey and lighter.
I like the idea of that. I think I would like to knit it in like a caramel color. Something kind of classic that will go with a lot of things.
I'd probably use a gray.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of like who at the upcoming fiber festivals would have a linen blend, like a wool linen.
Okay, somebody just announced that they're bringing in a wool linen.
Is it Brine?
I feel like it is Brine. I wanted to say Brine. We should look that up. Also, not linen, I don't think, but Cindy of Cindy Marie Creates. I saw her the other day, and she said that she is bringing in, I want to say wool, linen, silk.
Oh.
Yeah.
In a fingering weight, though?
I don't know. She said it's going to be a DK2.
Oh.
Yeah. She said it's a little bit pricier of a base, but I'm pretty sure that one of my ones was a merino silk or merino silk linen from Fiber Goddess.
Well, I'm going to type in my notes Brine or Cindy Marie, so I look at this later.
And yeah, let's see if we can figure it out. While you're doing that, I'll show you my pattern, my next pattern, or the pattern that this is the one that I was talking about. I don't know if I'm going to say this right, but it's the Kaya pullover by Enda Taylor. And you might have seen it because Farmer's Daughters was talking about it.
Oh, that one's so cute.
Yeah. So the front has a pocket with the color work on it. It is a pullover. It's shorter. I would definitely, if I was making it, make it longer. But then the color work is all on the back as well.
It's amazing.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
I really, really love it. I just don't know if I have the brain power to do the color work on the back.
I feel like if that were made longer, the pocket placement would be weird.
Yeah, totally. That's the other thing.
Because short like that, the pocket looks right because it's right at the bottom. Yeah. But if it were longer,
it'd be across your hip.
It'd be weird. So I would, if I made it longer, I don't know if I'd include the pocket. But the back, I really like.
I really like the back too. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to intend to make it because I don't have the brain power right now to do a color work.
So I wonder if the construction for that is in pieces.
It's gotta be.
Because how else would you do that?
Well, and
like to the
looking at it, it looks like I X'd out of it because apparently I can't function today. It really does look like it might be seamed together. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna see if there's any, because sometimes there's notes. It is knit in sport weight, which is better than fingering. Nope, it is knit from the bottom up and flat. So incorporating a crop length, drop sleeve shoulders, a front pocket, and a back panel. So I'm guessing the back panel is knit separately. It doesn't say anything about seaming. Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder.
Yeah. Do you have another pattern?
I do. I have a couple more.
Okay.
The next one is also a cardigan, which I haven't purchased the pattern yet, but it's saved in my favorites on Ravelry. It's the Maybury Cardigan by Amy Loudon, and she uses a sock and lace together, she says like a brush lace, so I'm guessing mohair, with a sock weight, but you just pick a DK if you wanted to. And it is it's knit top down, and it's seamless, and the button band is worked at the same time as the cardigan body, so it's not applied later, which sometimes isn't fun. It's weird that she's missing a button, but maybe it's just not done up. So that is that. It looks so cozy. Shrink. There.
It does look cozy.
I want to say that it's a brioche.
It looks brioche.
Oh, fisherman's rib.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if it's not brioche, it's fisherman's rib.
Yeah. But it just looks super comfy.
Mm-hmm.
I like the back, too. Yeah. Adorable. I would not make it in pink, but that was my second one. So there's 2 cardigan options. Mm-hmm.
So my next one is, it showed up on my feed somehow, but it is a mosaic cowl pattern that is in that classic bandana that I love. It's called the Murano Squares bandana. I was looking through the pictures for one that kind of shows the pattern.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's super cute. There's another picture that I don't love the color of it, Well, this one really,
that looks
one,
interesting.
I love that one. It really pops. There's this one that kind of shows, kind of looking Oilers-y.
I like I like this construction. Like,
yeah. So I would like to make another mosaic cowl. I would really, yeah.
So it's knit flat.
I'm guessing, and then seamed, because I think in the notes it says that actually. It's also charted.
Oh.
Listed as DK, but can be worked in other ways. It's work flat, and then it has a small seam. Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of Oilers colors, I'm just going to go check the score really quick.
Okay. What time is the game on today? It must have started at like noon.
1.
Okay.
Oh. 2-0 for Edmonton.
There we go.
And the second, they're done the first period, so yeah.
And it's in Edmonton right now, right?
Yeah, and like they had brunch. It was crazy downtown. I wasn't downtown or anything. I just seen pictures. I was invited to a watch party. People got tickets, but I was recording this, and also I'm glad that I didn't go because I am exhausted.
Yeah,
I barely rolled out of bed this morning.
I don't think I have the peopling.
I don't have the peopling in me today. I'm glad I turned that down. This is, even doing this is a stretch of my. I have not felt this tired, like whole body over exhaustion in so long. So I started a new job, and I started a week and a half ago. But this past week was for us Victoria Day weekend, so Monday was off. And yesterday was Saturday. Yeah. So Saturday morning, I think I was like, well, that was my first full work week, so of course I'm exhausted. And I was like, I had Monday off. I haven't done a full work week. And I didn't work at preschool on Wednesday morning. So really this next week is going to kill me.
It might.
And it's my son's birthday on Tuesday, and my husband's away. He comes home on Wednesday night. So we're doing supper Tuesday out. My older son is going to drive him to where I work, near where I work, so we can have dinner, and that's fine. But there's just like a lot of moving parts, and then we're doing like a birthday sleepover and all these things.
And you're tired just thinking about it.
I'm tired just thinking about it. And I have almost always made my kids cakes. I say almost because there was a few years where my kids were really into DQ, Dairy Queen, ice cream cakes. So those years, obviously, I didn't make them. But a couple of years ago, we discovered, he went on Pinterest. He was like, I don't know, 8 or 9. And he discovered Pinterest looking for like designs for his cake. And then he stumbled across this like homemade ice cream cake. So you take...
That's the one you made last year.
Yeah. So I've made it a couple years in a row now. Ice cream sandwiches. You put the ice cream sandwiches on the bottom, and then you put a layer of whatever flavor of ice cream you want. Everett likes vanilla. So vanilla ice cream. And then you can put like chocolate sauce or caramel sauce. Everett does not like to choose his candy, so he always wants both chocolate and caramel sauce. And then you like crush up some kind of chocolate bar and put that on, and then you put another layer of ice cream sandwiches. It's actually like 3 layers of ice cream sandwiches, but honestly, the cake would be this big. So we only do 2 layers, and it's still huge. The first year I made the mistake of making it in a big pan. We had ice cream cake for weeks. It was so big. So now I make it in a much smaller pan. And I think I split the ice cream sandwiches in half to make it less thick. I don't even remember. But last year we crushed up mini eggs and put it on there and whatever. But I know he wants that again. But I think I'm gonna see if I can twist his arm to get an expensive Dairy Queen cake instead. We'll see. See what happens. Last week, like when I first started work, Jeff was home, and I know I've told you this already, but he was a rock star. He was a superstar. Like I came home, dinner was made, and the house was clean and all this stuff. And this week, it's still great. My kids are helping. I'm not saying they're not, but like there is definitely like I don't know how people do it.
I don't know.
I haven't worked full time in a really long time, so this is a new thing for me.
And your job, I don't know how you do that job. Like,
yeah,
working with children all day, every day.
Yeah.
Like, I used to pick up my kids from daycare, I remember, even from school, and I would every day almost pick them up and go, I don't know how you guys do this all day.
Yeah.
Like,
and
it would be so exhausting. I don't love kids that much.
Well, and I think too, like right now, the kids I'm working with are, some of them are kind of in crisis, and so there's a lot going on emotionally, and I have to be like on 150% to help with that, and that's also draining, obviously. Like, I love helping kids, but I've already told my boss that I might burn out, so we're gonna have to do something to manage that, because it's just been, I know my limits. I'm glad I'm not starting this job at the age of like 25, because I would burn out, because I wouldn't be able to put my foot down, and I wouldn't be able to like recognize my limits.
Your boundaries.
Know my boundaries, yeah. So, but I also know myself, and like I can say this out loud, and I don't know, I need to, follow through with it. But like, I'm a sucker. Like, I can't help it. I'm like, kid in crisis. If I have the tools to help, I want to help.
Exactly.
That's
when you know
hard.
that you can help, it's really hard to say no.
Yes, it is very hard to say no. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I get it.
Yeah.
Do you have more patterns? I have 2 more.
That is it. That was my 2 patterns.
So my next one is called the Honey Pouch. Isn't that an interesting name?
It is an interesting name. And what is the Honey Pouch? Is it a purse?
Well,
is this like...
It's nothing dirty.
Really? Is it?
It sounds like it might be.
Hold on. Was this on your Ravelry page with the suggestions? Because Debbie gets great suggestions.
Well, yes and no. So I was actually in Ravelry and not the Rabbit app. The Rabbit app is the one that gives me all the weird things.
I don't have Rabbit, and I get weird suggestions on my Ravelry app after I talk to you about it, because my phone is listening.
Well, this was just in the suggested things, but it's not that weird. So the Honey Pouch is actually a phone case. But it made me think of my e-reader. Yeah. So it can be made bigger. Yeah.
I love the stitch.
It's a honeycomb brioche,
which is why it's called the Honey Pouch.
Yes. And it's fingering weight. And they put that little like lanyard thing on the side of it, so you can make it to fit your phone or your e-reader.
That's cute.
It is cute.
I like the color.
Yeah. The Honey Pouch. And the pattern's by Beatrice Mace. I've never heard of Beatrice, but she has a cute little pattern. And it's free.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, the Honey Pouch is free.
I wonder how hard honeycomb brioche is.
I don't know.
It looks hard.
I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the pattern.
It looks like, I think it would be such a cute sweater. Like, just seeing that, it kind of looks like a sleeve. It'd be so super cute.
I wonder if you could, like, texture like that would be cool on parts of things.
Yeah. Like
a cuff or something like that.
Or
if you had like a really plain sweater.
Just even the sleeves. If you had a plain raglan with honeycomb sleeves, would be really cute. Your stomach is always growling to eat.
I did eat today. Today I did. Yeah. And then my other one is called the Popham Pullover by Popham by Alicia Plummer. It just came out. You've probably seen it on Instagram.
I don't know if I have. But I love it.
So it's worsted weight. And the collar you can see in this has a zipper. However, there are notes to do it with buttons as well and do like a button band one.
I love the zipper.
So apparently, people who tested, some of them did the buttons. So I'm just going to see if I can find any pictures of that. But it's very cute. Where do I find her? I never know how to use this thing. The yarn. More. Where? Where are the projects? Why don't I see it?
That's the thing. I have the same problem with that. When it's like that, go all the way to the bottom. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Weird.
It's weird.
Like, where
I've
are the
had
projects?
this problem though too. We've talked about this. I feel like it's over here.
I don't understand.
This is giving me major deja vu vibes. Hold on.
I'm going to try on Rabbit because I always know how to find things on there. Pop them. Search. There it is. Projects. Here we go. Yes. Lots of people have a button option.
It's cute with the buttons too. I just like the idea of a zipper.
A zipper.
Yeah.
So there's one with...
I don't like the idea of figuring out how to sew that in.
I'm assuming that she would have instructions on how to sew it in.
Well, I'm going to sew a zipper onto my bag. So once I do it once, maybe I'll be an expert and I can...
There are quite a few tests of this.
Yeah, there are.
Like, yeah. But I like it either way. But
yeah.
Oh, so this person did like, look at this fun colored.
Fun colored zipper?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like yellow against the blue. I like that. That's cute. Like a little pop.
Yeah.
Pop of color.
Yeah. So those were my
Those are your things?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me see what I have here. Oh, I had a couple of wish list items.
I have one too.
Okay, well, so I'm going to apologize in advance. I had saved these a while ago and then we didn't end up talking about anything, but I still think it's worth sharing. These are... So the reason why I say it's worth sharing is because I went on her website yesterday to see if there was anything available, and her shop is closed until June 1st, so I'm guessing everything is sold out. But Book Hue, which I believe she is from, hold on, I'm going to say Toronto, but before, yes, she's from Toronto, so she's Canadian made, but these are adorable. They're little pouches.
Oh, I like those.
Right, with the mixed fabric.
Yeah.
So cute.
Those
so
are really cute.
I think she released these sometime in April, maybe. And they're obviously all sold out. And I did go on her website, and it does say that it's closed till June 1st. So I'm not sure if she's going to do
a restock
of things or what, but I'm not sure. Yeah.
Does she make other stuff too?
Yeah. Like there's like these ones, like different kinds of bags and stuff.
Okay.
There's also punch needle, I want to say. Maybe I didn't take a huge look, but I think they were pillows. All very cute things. And Canadian made. So
yeah.
And this one too. I love the fabrics that she chooses. Like super cute.
Little button. My wish list is also a bag, but it's a Hohi bag.
Is it the salt or whatever? Salt bag? It's called Salty? Salt?
It is called the One Stitch Convertible Bag.
Oh, okay. No, not the one I'm thinking. Salt.
And it's sold out by the time, like, I knew it was being posted, like,
yeah.
And then when I remembered, I went and looked and they were gone. But it's on her Instagram. So it's an olive embossed leather.
It's beautiful.
They're so cute on her Instagram if you go there. The One Stitch Bag. So it's called that because on the strap it says 1 stitch at a time. And she had a pink one as well, so you can see that there.
I like the olive green.
But the way that they work is really interesting. So I'm going to find her. Go to her Instagram.
Yeah.
Hohi & Co. Because that bag, it's really cool how the strap works. Where is it, Hohi? Here.
Oh, okay, so it's threaded through.
Yeah, like just, you can hold it so it's open.
Yeah.
And then you can
Close it.
Yeah,
True.
close it.
That's so cool.
The strap, the way it's constructed, is like that. But then you can pull it the other way from the outside, and it makes it into like a little shoulder bag.
I like that.
I know.
I like the versatility of that.
But yeah, the embossed leather of that olive color.
Sold immediately.
So nice. Yeah. I love it. So if she ever restocks it, I think I might have to order one. And she is in Argentina, I believe. Mm-hmm. But apparently because she ships with like DHL or something, it ships in like 3 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Very fast. She has this bag right now in her shop, and it's also an embossed leather, but it's like a big tote.
Yeah, with side handles, not the closing handles.
Yeah, and the leather pattern is different. Like it's not the olive leaf one. But yeah.
Cool.
Pretty.
So, again, I apologize because this is also sold out. But her
just make a list so you can go check them later.
Her website says that she's working on it. It is Studio Katagami, and she's from Tucson, Arizona. Look at these mugs.
I love them.
They're like quilted patchwork. Mm-hmm. So cute. Yeah. So they sold out really quick. Mm-hmm. Because I was going to show these a while ago.
I like how thick the handles are.
Yeah, and the colors. I love the
very bright
combos. So cute.
Well, she must fire in an electric kiln because she doesn't get any of the gas changing colors. You can't usually fire bright colors in a gas kiln. It ruins that.
I'm like, tell me more. I don't know. What do you mean?
I think it's just because of like the carbon trapping in a gas kiln.
Yeah.
The bright colors just don't work. It burns them. It's such a high heat.
Yeah.
They don't work. So anyone who has bright colored things, it's usually an electric kiln at a lower temperature than a gas kiln would be. Still super hot. You will die if you go in there. But
who's going in a kiln?
Who's going in a kiln? You can't. But yeah.
Hold on, I want to see if I can find her. There is another one that now that you're saying all this stuff, I'm like, I can't think of her name. Murakami or something like that. I will bring it up later, but hers is very pastel-y. Is that?
That's probably also electric kiln.
Huh. Who knew?
Like, you remember how at the Guild a lot of the colors were more natural tones and stuff? That's because it's gas. Because those colors will turn out in a gas kiln.
Yeah.
And brighter. You have way less control over your colors in a gas kiln than an electric kiln.
Interesting.
So, yeah. Good to know. They just tend not to work.
Okay. I want to talk about the giveaway.
Sure.
Okay. So.
Good idea. That's on my list.
Okay.
So.
That's also on my list. You might recognize this guy. I think it's Goldie. Prairie Fiber Fest. Lori sent us a little giveaway package. You've heard us talk about the festival. We have been going to Lacombe for quite some time, a few years.
Yeah.
And they are doing another festival on June 14th in Olds, Alberta. So,
which is Worldwide Knit in Public Day.
I know, what a coincidence.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's also my kid's birthday. So I don't know what we're doing, but yeah, I don't think I'll make it to Olds. I really would like to make it to Olds. I was looking at the vendor list this morning, and there's a few people that I'd like to go check out, but that's beside the point. So right now on our Instagram, you can enter our giveaway to win this wonderful prize package. So first there is this gorgeous yarn from November Kin. It's called Weekend at the Cabin. It's classic sock. The colors in it are...
It's very soft.
It's, kind of orangey colors and yellows and blues. Mm-hmm. I was looking at this yesterday and I'm like, this would really be really cute in the striping of the hipster.
Yes.
Yeah. So you could win.
Or in a mosaic with a navy or something.
Yes.
That would look very nice.
And if you wanted to go lighter, you could do it with a cream. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then they have a new mascot for Olds. So it's Opal. And in the little notions pouch is an opal tape measure and an opal stitch marker.
Cute.
Super cute. It's not gonna stop moving. And last but definitely not least, it says that you can be our special guests, and it gives you 2 pins to get in free to both Olds and Lacombe. Which, come on, like that's crazy, Lori. I'm saying that because Lori's watching us. I know she is. So Lori made the pins this year. They're purple. If you're familiar with the festival at all, the pins are always a different color. It gets you entry into the Lacombe Festival, and she made the pins this year so that if you go to Olds in June and you keep your pin, you can also enter Lacombe. So, which is very generous. Yeah. So you can enter to win this on our Instagram. Typical giveaway, take your friends, share to your stories. And there is a little
an extra.
There is a bonus entries. Which you watched. If you watched episode 17, I pulled it right from there. So yeah, go check it out. Enter, win your chance to win a chance. Enter to win a chance. Enter for a chance to win.
To get this prize.
Wow.
So on the Instagram, you said people in Alberta. Technically, if you want to come from outside Alberta
100%.
to go to the festivals, you can enter also.
Yeah. I just thought that if the intent was not to go to the festivals, maybe don't. I don't know.
Yeah, we'd like you to attend.
I'm not going to police you.
But it'd be good if you attended the festivals, or at least one of them.
Yeah, one of them.
And bring a friend. You and your knit friend can go together.
Yes. Yeah.
Make it a road trip.
Yeah. Olds is a cute town. My mother-in-law lives there. I haven't explored it a lot, but it is a really cute town. There's lots of local businesses in Olds.
And I love Lacombe.
Yeah, I was going to say, Lacombe is an adorable town, and the architecture in Olds is so cute with all the brick buildings. Mm-hmm. There's lots of, again, local places to shop and eat. We usually go to
Cilantro and Chive.
Thank you.
In Lacombe.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Yeah. They have like cocktail flights. You can get them as mocktails as well, but they have this one mocktail, whatever. It's like a fuzzy peach. It's so good, and it comes with fuzzy peach candies on it.
Yeah. And frozen fuzzy peach candies are yummy.
They are. Who knew until they had this cocktail? So delicious. But yeah, so we are giving that away, which we're excited about. Yeah.
Books. Did you start that one?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, and I'm 50%. I checked this morning.
Oh.
I read it this morning instead of going for a bike ride. I read because I'm tired. I actually have it up. I'm gonna swipe. I think I'm about. Yeah, it says I'm on page 278 of 510, which is a really long book. But I always wonder when I'm reading on my e-reader what it would actually be in a book.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because also, if you change the size of your font, it's very deceiving. Because like for right now, for example, I'm gonna make you go through this experiment with me. Right now, I'm probably on the smallest font possible.
Well, I'm on the same, I guess, as you, because mine also is 510 pages.
Okay. Well, now I'm gonna change my font to. I'm going to go up to 5. I'm going to go up to 5, which is massive. I was going to show you guys, but it is actually a spicy scene. And when I zoomed into 5, let's not.
Questionable words.
Awkward. But now, let's just go to page count here. I'm flustered. I can't even work the thing. No, it's still 510 pages.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, so it doesn't matter.
So that must be what it is in print. As a print copy?
I would, I don't know. But you know what I can do is I have a couple of books, like actual books. Maybe I'll see if I can get them on and see if they're the exact same.
Oh, the same.
Yeah.
So I'm on page 451 and 510. So I'm like 88% through. I'm almost done.
You were almost done. You're way farther than me. Okay, so who cares about how many pages?
The book is called
People Have Left. Story of My Life. Story of My Life by Lucy Score. It's the Story Lake book, number 1. I believe there's more coming out, but this is brand new, right?
It came out. This one came out in March, and the second one doesn't come out until 2026.
Okay, so yeah. Obviously, there's more books coming, but this is, yeah. I've read Lucy Score before. Actually, I think you...
I have 2. I don't remember what, though.
No. I think you had recommended a couple to me. And one of them that I read is actually kind of funny because it was a remodel one as well. But she was like a film. They film her remodeling. I think Making Moves On. Is that it?
Oh, maybe. This is what the cover looks like. Like the top. Right there.
You can't make it bigger?
Well, if I open it, it just goes to my page. So I don't know.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. It's funny.
It is funny.
I'm only halfway, so I wouldn't be willing to give it a score yet. But it's really funny. It's quite witty.
Yeah. I like the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me a bit of the Megan Quinn, like Runaway Groomsmen, so Megan Quinn writes a couple of books where they're set in small towns, and there's like a animal that is the mayor. I don't know. And it's all kind of funny about like these quaint, quirky towns with these animal mayors. Well, in this town, there is a bald eagle that is like the mascot, and his name is Goose. And there's some antics with him, and that's why it kind of reminds me of that
funny.
humor.
That whole scene.
Yeah, it's
with the fish head, and it was hilarious.
I will be honest, when I first started reading the first couple chapters, I found the writing a little bit like hard to follow, sort of. But now that the story has developed, it's better. So the reason why I bring that up is because sometimes you have to get into a book before you can really like decide. And this was definitely one of them. If you hadn't recommended it, I might have put it down.
It's pretty good.
But it is pretty funny. I'm loving the banter so far.
And the main female character is a romance novelist.
Yeah.
So it's just funny. Like, because she's writing a book, a romance novel, and this is a romance novel. Yeah, it's just good.
Well, and it's also funny because this is called the Story Lake series. Story Lake series.
And she's writing that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah.
She is writing it in the story, so that's kind of cute.
It's a fun concept.
I have another book. I read, have you read anything by Lauren Blakely?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I read The Boyfriend Goal by Lauren Blakely a bit ago. Sometime between now and the last podcast. I've been using Book Mowry quite religiously, so I looked it up today to see what I gave it. I gave it 3.5 stars. I thought it was cute. It's very, got lots of good banter, and it's funny. The premise of the story is that the main female character moves somewhere to some city, I don't remember, but she has a short-term contract for a job, and her apartment falls through, but her brother lives in the same city. He's a NHL hockey player, but him and his wife just had twins, and her apartment falls through. She needs somewhere to live, and he goes to his hockey buddies and asks if anybody has space for her. So someone says, yeah, she can live with me. It's no big deal. But unbeknownst to both of them, they had actually already met a couple days before. And it's very, the beginning is hilarious. So funny, good banter. Yeah, but an easy read. Kind of predictable, but...
So I haven't read any of her books. I was just looking at all the covers. But that one's the first in a 4-book series, so that's nice.
Yeah.
There's multiple.
So I think I have read her before, years ago, but her covers have changed to be more what it looks like now, what's more popular
now.
Yeah, I'd have to look at my Kobo, but I am pretty sure that like I've read. I don't know which one of these, but
these covers are not it anymore.
No.
Like people like the graphic
covers.
Graphic
cutesy.
Yeah, like these ones are not.
No.
If you want to know what I'm talking about.
None of these
I'll show you.
None of these are looking familiar, so maybe I haven't read her, but
like the ones with like actual people and photos are not it now. They're all like fun, bright colored graphic covers.
Well, and that's the thing too. Lucy Score, the one that we were talking about in the first book, there is a series of hers. I'll see if I can bring it up. That her books, I see people recommend other books, and I'm like, is that a Lucy Score book? Because the covers are almost identical to this one.
Yes.
Yeah. There are several books that have almost an identical cover with like flowers and the same kind of writing.
I don't love those covers.
Yeah.
I feel like they don't tell me anything.
They're cutesy,
I guess.
But they're, I don't know. I'm just looking at other covers.
I like Lauren Blakely's website. It says cute but spicy books that make you blush. That's her like little tagline.
Yeah, I've read a few. Maggie Moves On was good. I also read By a Thread, which I don't think I liked that one as much. I'm looking at all her books. Okay, well, that's that. I don't know if we were very funny today.
I'm sorry. I'm tired. I kept yawning.
I know I did.
Apologies.
Apologies for the less giggles. Anything else?
I don't have anything else on my list. Nope. Scanning it.
Well, hold on. I said I was going to unbox this one.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I'm going to show Debbie. So Debbie shows up and I had a package on my door.
Good old Amazon. I know. Well, last night I said to Chris something about ordering something on Amazon. And I was like, I know we aren't supposed to love Amazon and Bezos. And Chris goes, what do you mean? I love Amazon and Bezos. And I'm like, why? He's like, it makes my life so convenient. I'm like, I know. But I don't want to give him the money, but it is convenient.
Well, I didn't buy this.
So it's Joe's fault.
It's Joe's fault. But, okay, so I ride my bike, like a pedal bike, not a motorbike. Last year I put like 1,000 kilometers on it in the summer. And I ride mostly in like subdivisions. But I have encountered a small problem. I get rushed by dogs a lot on my bike.
Oh.
Yeah. Like,
why are people not keeping their dogs?
Yeah, it's an issue. So, and I don't love it. It does not make me feel great, especially when I'm on my bike, because I am not the most graceful person. And like, I don't need an excuse to crash. So yesterday I rode 20 kilometers and I was in one subdivision, and these two big dogs, like quite big dogs, came rushing at me, and the one was very upset, barking and growling, and he got really close to me. And I yelled at him, like, go home, whatever. And he did finally listen. But I mentioned it to my husband, and he has been saying for so long that he was going to buy me something from this. And so when I opened this package with Debbie here, it is dog and coyote attack repellent.
Oh my God. You're going to spray them now?
No, because you know what would happen? I would get in my eyes. I'd be like, go, damn, doggy, bear! Right in my face.
And as you're riding, you spray it in front of you.
Oh my God, yesterday it was so windy. Yeah. So.
You'd be better off with a horn or something.
Yeah.
Like a blowhorn.
Yeah. Hand strap model for walkers, runners, hikers to deter dogs and coyotes from attacking humans. Interesting.
Okay.
But yeah, so when I opened the package, I laughed out loud. I'm like, I guess Jeff's done with me telling him about these dogs rushing at me. There was one subdivision in particular, they had a dog that he didn't listen. Like, so usually when I like yell go home or no, the dogs will listen, but this one wouldn't. And I haven't seen him this year, but he really would quite intimidate me. So
why are they running off the property? What is going on? I own dogs. They don't leave my property.
Yeah.
Unless they're on a leash.
Well, and Jeff keeps saying, we should go over to the neighbors. We have new neighbors. They moved in last year. And they have a dog. And I forget what he is. He's not a pit bull. He's something else. But he's always on our property. And...
a boxer.
Yeah, something's got a smooshed face. I think he's pretty friendly, but he is very unafraid. Like, he actually went into our trailer when I had the door open because I was loading things into it, and it came out and the dog was in the trailer. So don't love that. But he keeps coming over, and Jeff says that we should go and talk to them, but when we're not aggravated.
Actually, last week, I don't think I told you this, I had just gotten home. I was putting away groceries from Costco, and my sister phoned me, and she's like, my dogs are missing.
Oh, no.
So she has a St. Bernard, the same as me. That's the brother of my female. Mm-hmm. And she has a doodle, and he's like 40 pounds. And they are a very odd duo, the two of them, because one is giant and one is not. There is zero way they can get out of her yard. First of all, the St. Bernard, sure, he can stand at the fence and rest his chin on the top of the fence for people coming by to like pet him. He would never hurt anyone. But he can't use his back legs. He's like, he cannot jump. He can't even really jump on the bed or in the car. And Joey is little and could not jump a fence that's that tall. And there's no, like, I went to the house and I looked all around and we pushed on every fence board and none of them were broken. There was no holes. Somebody actually let them out of the yard.
Why?
Well, we think because there was a garage sale around the corner and people steal dogs all the time. And so we think that somebody came and unlocked the gate and tried to get them out, but they wouldn't go with people. And they ran off. So her dogs were missing. And they were only outside for like 15 minutes. And the gate is actually quite hard to open. So it's like, it's not like it was a little kid. A kid could not have reached the latch. And it's kind of rusty and like makes a very loud creaky sound. And
was your sister home when it happened?
Yeah, she had just gotten home. Mm-hmm. She let them outside, shut the door. She went and was doing something, going to the bathroom. I don't know. Went 15 minutes later and she's like, my dogs aren't even barking and there is a garage sale happening. So that's kind of weird. So she goes to open the door and they were gone. And so I sped into town. I don't know. I was going fast. And it was last Friday. So as I was leaving my driveway, Chris was actually just getting home from out of town and pulling into the driveway and I honked at him to back up so I could get out.
Was this after our dinner?
No, this was last
week ago. Right?
Yeah, a week ago. So he backed up out of the way and I pulled out of the driveway and I was like, the dogs are missing. I'm going. And he's like, okay, I'm coming. So he followed me and we started driving around the neighborhood and I drove past this one house and there was this girl and her mom in the driveway. And this was like a block away from where they live. And this girl's just standing there in this driveway, like looking around lost. And I was like, this looks interesting. So I stopped and rolled down the window. And she came up to my window and I said, did you see some dogs? And she's like, yes, we have them in our yard. So they had lured the dogs. Well, they had to lure Gus because he was like, I'm not coming. He's a 2-year-old stupid St. Bernard. But Joey, he's overly friendly.
Yeah.
And they just opened their front door and he ran in their house and sat on their couch.
No way.
So it's like your neighbor's dog, just like super comfortable, just walks right in and makes himself at home. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I phoned my sister. I'm like, the dogs are a block away.
Found them
in this people's house, and then the little girl who lived there, she's like 11. And when my sister rolled up, she's like, I'm 11 and I'd like to dog sit your dogs and I'd like to come walk them and I love them and can I keep them? And we're like, no.
That's adorable though.
So my sister's cute. Like, okay, if I need a dog walker, I will come find you because this little girl was like,
so excited.
I'm responsible. I'm 11. I can walk them. I will come feed them.
I saved your dogs.
Yeah. But
that's awful.
Somebody let them out for sure.
Why?
There's no other way that they would have gotten out of her yard. So
I don't understand people.
They're crazy. Like they come and steal her dogs. Mm-hmm. For sure. It happens all the time.
Speaking of crazy things, were you the person that was telling me about the whole tow truck scam thing? Was it you?
No, but I read about it.
Yes, we read about it. Okay, I think you told me about this, that you were reading about it. There's like this whole tow truck scam thing happening in the Edmonton area where a tow truck will show up to a accident that had just happened, uncalled, like they weren't called.
Yes.
And then, I don't want to like quote the particulars, but basically what ends up happening is they end up saying that they have to tow your truck or whatever. They tow it somewhere. And then they charge your insurance company. And if you're not looking at your insurance company bill, or if you are, you notice all these weird charges. And normally a tow truck towing bill is a couple $100. Mm-hmm. And it was up to like $5,000. Somebody told us, or maybe we'd read about it, but that somebody had reported that she got her insurance bill because the insurance was like, we are not covering all these charges. And it was like all these things. And she's like, that was not... I just had it towed to this yard. And so anyways, the reason why I bring this up is Jeff sent me an article from the Edmonton Police Services that they have charged over 10 companies of doing this. So recently they did a huge investigation into it. Some of the bills were upwards of $5,000 for a simple tow.
That's insanity.
So crazy.
Crazy fraud.
Yeah. So here's your KnitsnGigglesPodcast public service announcement. If you're in an accident of any kind and someone shows up with a tow truck and says that you have to use their service, you do not have to use their service.
No. And
check your bill. Because that was the other thing. The people were noticing that their insurance was skyrocketing because of these bills. And they're like, what? No, I didn't. None of this was happening. So yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, so it's insurance fraud. But the news article that Jeff sent me said that the police quote was that things like that are really hard to prove the scam because they don't have evidence that like those services weren't actually done. So it took them like months and months to compile enough evidence to charge these 10 plus companies with this happening. I had read it the other day and then I was driving to work. And I was on the Hyundai and I looked over and there was like this tow truck company and I was like, I wonder if that company was on the list.
Like everyone's so skeptical,
right?
And like paranoid of who to call. You have to like keep this list in your car. Well I won't call any of these ones.
Like, do they get closed down? I don't know how that works. But you weren't even calling. Sometimes they weren't even calling these companies. They were just showing up, which means that they must be listening to police scanners or something.
Yeah, they must be.
Which is also crazy. All right, now that we're an hour and a half into this magical... Do you have anything else?
No.
I don't think I do either. Episode 18, please check out that giveaway. And we'll see you guys in a couple weeks.
Yeah, we can be back on track now.
I'm posting. So maybe I don't get a picture with me winking. Stop it.